Most people look at a credit card and see a trap. A high-interest, consumer debt landmine designed to bleed your bank account dry at a rate of 24% APR. And for 90% of the population, that's exactly what it is. It's a wealth extraction device. But if you understand the mechanical physics of cash flow, if you can stop looking at money as spending and start looking at it as kinetic energy, you can flip the script. You can reverse the polarity of the bank's business model. Today, I'm showing you the Arbitrage Engine. This is a specific systems engineering approach to consumer finance, where we use the bank's own money to fund our investments, capture the interest spread, and extract thousands of dollars in rewards, all without ever paying a single cent in interest. In this video, I'm going to break down the physics of the float. We're going to look at why your debit card is actually costing you money, how to engineer a 55-day interest-free loan on every single gallon of gas you buy, and the exact routing map I use to force the banks to pay me to live my life. Wait, just a warning before we start. If you currently carry a credit card balance, or if you've paid interest in the last 12 months, close this video. This system is a high-performance engine. If you don't have the discipline to hit the brakes, you will crash. This is for zero-balance sprinters only. Still here? Good. Let's look at the math. To build an engine, you have to understand the fuel. In finance, that fuel is the float. Think about your debit card for a second. When you swipe that piece of plastic at a grocery store, the transaction is nearly instantaneous. The money leaves your account, your wealth mass decreases, and your velocity drops. Your money is gone before the grocery bag is even in your car. A credit card operates on a completely different physical law. When you swipe a credit card, the bank is paying the merchant on your behalf. They are giving you a microloan. But here is the part most people ignore: the grace period. In 2026, the standard grace period is between 21 and 25 days after your statement closes. This creates a massive window of static capital. If you time your purchases correctly, you can effectively hold on to the bank's money for up to 55 days before you are legally required to pay them back. While that money is sitting in your account instead of the bank's, it is kinetic. It can work. If that money is sitting in a high-yield savings account, which as of March 2026 is yielding around 4.1% at places like Open Bank or Vio, it is generating yield for you while you're using the bank's money for free. This is called arbitrage. You are taking capital from a zero-interest source, the credit card float, and placing it into a high-interest destination, your tactical vault. Individually, a $100 grocery bill doesn't seem like much. But when you route $5,000 a month of living expenses through this engine, you are holding a $5,000 rolling loan that is constantly generating interest in your pocket. Let's get into the hard numbers. The arbitrage engine doesn't just rely on the interest spread. It's a dual motor system. Motor A is the interest yield on the float. Motor B is the rewards capture. Let's run a simulation for a standard money sprint, household spending $4,000 a month on overhead rent, if no fee, then food, fuel, and utilities. Motor A, the interest float. If you have a constant $4,000 rolling on your cards, and that $4,000 is sitting in a 4.1% HISA, you are earning roughly $164 a year just on the interest of money you've already spent. It sounds small, but in engineering, we don't ignore 4% efficiency gains. That's free energy. Motor B, the rewards capture in 2006, the coupon book rewards model has become standard. If you are using a flat 2% cashback card, like the Wells Fargo Active Cash or the Fidelity Visa, that $4,000 a month generates $80 in cash back every single month. That is $960 a year. When you combine Motor A and Motor B, you are looking at a total yield of over $1,120 per year. Stop. Think about that. That is $1,100 of found money simply for changing the plumbing of your finances. That pays for a mini retirement flight. That pays for your gym membership for the year. That buys 10 shares of a high-growth index fund. And all you did was change the plastic in your wallet. But it gets deeper. In 2026, we are seeing the rise of interoperable rewards. Some cards are now allowing you to boost your cash back by 50% if you move it directly into a linked brokerage account. Suddenly, that 2% reward becomes a 3% investment velocity boost. Now, your $1,100 yield just jumped to $1,600. This is why I call it an engine. We are looking for every 0.1% of friction, and we are turning it into thrust. You cannot run this engine in a single messy checking account. If you do, you'll lose track of the float, you'll overspend, and the bank will win. You need a 3-node architecture. Node 1, the intake hub, your checking account. This is where your paycheck lands. It is a high-liquidity, low-friction account. But here is the rule. Money does not stay here. The moment your paycheck hits, the engine engages. Node 2, the tactical vault, your high-yield savings account. The intake hub immediately sweeps your entire monthly budget into the vault. If you know you spend $4,000 a month, that $4,000 goes straight into the 4.1% HISA. This is where the interest is harvested. This money stays in the vault until the very last second, the day before your credit card bill is due. Node 3, the spending node. Your credit cards, you don't even carry it. You use a tiered credit card system. Let's do it this way. Card A, the workhorse. This is the flat 2% card for everything that doesn't fit a category. Card B, the specialist, the 4% or 5% card specifically for fuel or groceries. Card C, the fixed valve, any recurring bills, utilities, internet, insurance are locked to this card. Now let's look at the workflow. You spend on the cards throughout the month. Your cash sits in the vault, earning interest. The statement closes. You get an email saying you owe $4,000. You wait for the grace period, about 21 days. On day 20, you move exactly $4,000 from the vault back to the intake hub. The autopay triggers. The bill is paid in full. By doing this, you have maximized the time value of every dollar. You've earned interest on money that was technically already spent 45 days ago. If the standard float is a 4-cylinder engine, then stoozing is adding a turbocharger. Stoozing is an old-school term for an advanced arbitrage play. In 2026, many banks are still offering 0% introductory APR for 15 to 18 months to attract high-quality sprinters. When you get a card with a $10,000 limit and 0% APR for 18 months, the math changes. Instead of paying that balance in full every month, you pay only the minimum payment, usually around $30. You take the remaining $9,970 and you park it in your tactical vault. For 18 months, that $10,000 is generating 4.1% interest for you. That is $410 a year, roughly $615 over the life of the intro period, in pure risk-free interest profit. At the end of the 18 months, you take the $10,000 out of the vault, pay off the card in one lump sum, and you keep the $615. Wait, this is where people get hurt. Stoozing is not free money to spend. It is a liability on your balance sheet. If you spend that $10,000 on a vacation or a new car, you haven't engineered an engine. You've engineered a disaster. The money must stay in the vault. It belongs to the bank. You are just renting the interest from it. In the money sprint, we use stoozing for 2 reasons: to build a synthetic emergency fund while our real cash is invested, to create a capital base for a small business, or a high-conviction investment. If you can stack 0% APR cards, you can effectively hold $30,000 of the bank's capital for a year and a half. That's enough to earn nearly $2,000 in interest alone. That is the power of advanced financial physics. To ensure your engine doesn't blow up, you must follow the 5 laws of the arbitrage engine. Law of zero balance. You never, under any circumstances, carry a balance past the due date on a standard card. 1 month of 24% interest will wipe out 3 years of arbitrage profits. Law of automation. All payments must be on autopay. Human error is the biggest friction in this system. If you miss a payment, the bank wins. Set it and forget it. Law of the surcharge. Never pay a fee to use a card. If a landlord or a utility company charges a 3% fee to use a credit card, you use a check. Remember, we are looking for a spread. If the fee is 3% and your reward is 2%, you are losing 1%. Don't be a points-poor person. Law of static spending. The engine does not change your lifestyle. If you find yourself spending more because I'm getting 2% back, you have failed. The engine is a plumbing upgrade, not a reason to buy more pipes. Law of credit hygiene. Monitoring your utilization ratio. If you are stoozing $20,000 on a $25,000 limit, your credit score might dip temporarily because your utilization is high. If you're planning to buy a house in the next 6 months, you shut down the engine and pay off the balances to clean up your score. The money sprint is about more than just working harder. It's about building a machine that works while you sleep. The Credit Card Arbitrage Engine is one of the smallest but most effective components of that machine. It takes the leaks in your daily life, the interest you could be earning, and the rewards the bank should be paying, and it funnels them back into your primary wealth engine. Over a 30-year career, the difference between using a debit card and using an arbitrage engine can be worth over $150,000 when you factor in the compounding of those rewards and interest. Stop being the bank's customer. Start being the bank's business partner.